Welcome back to the channel. We've got yet another college football ranked matchup for this week 7 slate of college football this weekend. We're going to take a look at Oklahoma State traveling to TCU. Jumping into the stat breakdown for this game, TCU stats offensively, they're getting about 46 and a half points per game on offense. They're throwing the ball for about 300 yards a game and 230 rushing yards a game. Defensively, they're giving up about 24 points per game, 270 passing yards a game, and 135 rushing yards per game. On the other side of the ball, Oklahoma State offensively is also averaging the exact same number of points as TCU at 46 and a half. They're throwing the ball for about 310 yards a game and almost 160 rushing yards per game. And then defensively, they're giving up one more point than TCU at 24.8 points per game. They are giving up 304 passing yards per game and just under 120 rushing yards per game. Just from looking at the stats, I don't really give anyone a slight edge. Both offenses are very potent offenses. I mean, they're averaging the exact same number of points per game. Oklahoma State's got a slight advantage in the passing game with a little bit more of a veteran and experienced quarterback in Spencer Sanders. However, TCU's got a little bit more of a potent rushing game, averaging almost 70 to 75 more rushing yards per game than TCU. I don't think this game is going to come down to the defense, to be completely honest. I mean, I think both offenses are going to put up their numbers. It's just going to be a matter of experience and who makes the least number of mistakes. So, due to that, there's a slight edge to Oklahoma State with a little bit more of an experienced quarterback. But we'll just have to just wait and see till they actually, jump on the field and play the game. But from the against the spread stats, Oklahoma State's 3-2 overall this year against the spread. They're undefeated on the road at 1-0. They're also 1-0 as an away underdog. TCU is undefeated overall this year. They're 4-0-1 against the spread this year, and they're 2-0 as a home team, 1-0 as a home favorite. So nothing really jumps out with the against the spread stats. I mean, TCU is undefeated. They haven't missed a cover yet this year. They've had one push and they've covered four of their 5 games. So it's hard to bet against TCU, but I mean there's not a whole lot of a reason why you bet against Oklahoma State too. They haven't covered twice, but they are undefeated this year overall when it comes to just pure football winning the game. They're undefeated, and when they go on the road, they have covered both times or the lone time. But I mean they're both comparable against the spread, so there's nothing really that sticks out to me either way. The over under is something that I'm kind of thinking about leaning towards. TCU's 3-2 this year in overs. Oklahoma State's 4-1 this year in overs. And I mean, we looked at the stats. Both offenses are going to get their points up. I mean, this is a high total at I believe it's 68 and a half right now. So it's not exactly a Iowa 41 point total where it's pretty low. No, it's a Big 12 total. I mean, these are two Big 12 teams. Big 12's notorious for putting points up. So we'll have to just take a look at it. But if I were to lean one way, I'd probably lean towards the over. I could see this being a shootout, especially after TCU battled out with Kansas last week. Kansas gave them a run for their money, so I think Oklahoma State's going to put up some points, and TCU's at home, so I think they should be able to ride some momentum with their home crowd and put up some points as well. Looking at the all-time series between these two teams, Oklahoma State leads it with a 17, 13, and 2 record. However, TCU has won 5 of their last 6 meetings when it has been played at TCU. Just an interesting note there. If you're looking for anything that kind of tips the scale, like I am with both teams being kind of balanced. I mean, both teams are in the top 15 in the nation, and TCU has had a little bit more of a test in Kansas, but let's see. I mean, we still kind of got to see how for real Kansas is when it comes down the stretch. And then line movement wise, the line opened up at even between these two teams, and it's now at 4 points in favor of TCU. Uh, Point total opened up at 60 and a half, and it's now at 68 and a half. And 54% of the public bets are on TCU. I mean, pretty much everywhere you look, you're going to see that this game's even. I think TCU's getting, 4 points. I'd say probably 2 or 3 of it's just from the fact that they're home. I think if Oklahoma State's the home team here, Oklahoma State's favored by 3 points or so as well. So there's nothing really that sticks out to me. I wouldn't touch the spread in this game. If you were, I'd probably go with Oklahoma State to cover the spread just because they're getting 4 points, and I think this is going to be a close game. Money line wise, I think TCU might win it. I mean, they're the home team, so that might play a factor here down the stretch of this game. Oklahoma State maybe makes a mistake and TCU grabs a bunch of momentum. Their crowd starts getting pretty loud, and they can just kind of force their will on Oklahoma State. But if there was one bet that I was going to make on this game, I'd definitely go with the over 68.5. Like I said, it's a high total, but I think it's manageable. I mean, both teams score 35 points, then you're looking at an over hitting. And I think both of these teams can easily score 5 touchdowns each throughout the course of this game. So that'll be my pick for this game, the over 68.5. Again, not really going to touch the spread. I think TCU might win this game just because they're the home team, but it's pretty even in my opinion.